are finally together. A month in the making. So, everyone, this is the GamerWitches inaugural game of Fate. Um, I am your storyteller, Gwen Rowan, also known as Professor Rowan of Rowan Reports. Beneath me and slightly over to this side is Bella Britta, also known as the Pink Ravenclaw.
Hello, hello. Y'all.
Over here is Cindy, Sea Wolfpack, a big member of the wizarding community. Down in the bottom over there
Someone is echoing.
Oh, are
way.
you? Hmm.
Yeah, I'm hearing you echoing on somebody's screen. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Down at the bottom on this side we have Shana. And over here we have Lynette, PhD.
Hello.
Hello. And we're going to be playing tonight a game of Fate. So I do not know why it's echoing. And yeah, I don't know why it's echoing. Okay. So, first off, for those of you who are not familiar with the game of Fate and some of my players who have never played a game of Fate, I'm looking at all of you actually. Fate is an RPG, this one right here, where you can do anything, be anything, as long as you can explain how it works. It is much more about story than it is about math. Dungeons and Dragons has fighting with swords and sorcery down to a strategic science. This can encompass anything else that you can possibly think of. It works best with any premise where the characters are proactive, capable people leading dramatic lives. No one wants to read the story about the hobbit who stayed at home. We read the story about the hobbit who left their house. Right? Okay. Alrighty. So, you guys, as the game players, it's your job to create characters, and character creation is actual part of play for this game, so we're going to be playing that out together. My job is to do everything else, and everyone's job is to make sure that everyone else around you looks awesome.
Okay. I think we can handle that.
I'm here
All
for
right.
it.
You're here? Excellent. Okay. So, if you look at your character sheets, and for those of you who are hanging out with us on Twitch, I will see if someone here can post a link to the Fate's website so they can see things like the character sheets and stuff like that themselves. I totally forgot to have that ready. So if anyone else can do that. There's on your character sheet, there are aspects. These are phrases or sentences that describe some significant detail about your character. They describe why your character matters, right? You will have skills, which is, how good you are at different things. Excellent. That might work. We'll find out.
That won't work.
That won't work.
That was the wrong link.
All right.
Sorry.
That's good.
Discord made it a funny one. Here you go.
There we go. Evil hat. And then extras are literally that, like gear, extra things that you might need. And stunts are ways that you can break the otherwise really flexible anyway rules. If that makes sense. Consequences are just that. The consequences for your actions. Most of the time, you will be doing things and telling me what you want to do. The only time we really roll dice is when you need to overcome an obstacle, when you need to create or unlock an advantage for your character, when you need to attack someone in a conflict or defend yourself from a conflict. So there are really only those 4 chances that you're going to be rolling the dice. The dice are super easy. I don't know if I can see it on here. They only have 3 sides. They're pluses, blanks, or minuses. And you roll 4 of them.
I ordered some, but they won't be here until the 3rd. So
That's fine.
I'll
If
a
you
mixed
have a
session.
regular 6-sided dice, a
Yep.
1 or a 2 would be considered a negative, a 5
Right.
or a 6 would be considered a plus, and a 3 or a 4 are considered blank or neutral.
3 or 4 is neutral.
Yep.
Or 0. Gotcha.
Or 0, yeah.
I'm just using the virtual dice that Cindy found.
Yes, there's also the virtual dice that Cindy found.
There are a
Because she's
couple of
awesome
those.
like that. All right, so now you also get something called fate points, which I have a chart here to organize how many fate points each of you have. But fate points are ways that you can tell me what to do, right?
Okay.
So you can either invoke an aspect. Ta-da! Yes. Okay.
Ta-da.
Oh, yay!
It's acting like
I was
it's
trying to
working
give
again.
feeling. I was trying to give feeling. So did it work?
Feeling.
Didn't work.
It's more than a feeling.
Dun,
More
dun,
than
dun,
a feeling.
Oh,
How do
it's never a dull moment here.
No. It's always good times.
Always good times. What were we talking about before we lost?
I think how
connection?
fate core works.
Yeah, we were talking about how fate works, and then we were talking
the
about
fate point?
what we wanted to find out in this universe that we're building together.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we talked about that we have superpowers, and we're trying to find out if the kids
Oh yeah, that's where we
they
were.
have emerging superpowers.
Yes.
So we've decided that in this world, superpowers can emerge. Now, does everybody have superpowers, or is it just like 10% of the population, 50% of the population?
I think 10% is good. Like Buffy
Yeah.
and Buffy and the Slayers, and like the Slayers who are learning. That's what it makes me think of.
Okay.
I'm thinking bell curve. It should be that rare 2%. It's
even
like
less.
Genius level. Yeah.
Okay.
That people hire us to be
I'm
the
cool with
babysitters because they think their child might be special like that. So.
Oh, all right. So this world knows that people are special like that. It's not a hidden thing, right? Because we didn't sound like we were interested in hiding in being that secretive type stuff. But we are interested in helping find people who are, so that they can get the appropriate training.
Yeah.
Because we don't want Jack accidentally setting the neighborhood on fire because he doesn't understand how to control his powers.
That
would be awful. That would be terrible.
It's also
feeling bad
funny
about himself because it's the elephant in the room
drama.
that they never talk about because they're trying to hide it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We want to build his esteem.
Right.
And accept who he is.
Exactly.
It
Totally.
could be something that is not looked upon as like a great thing in society either, and maybe we're trying to like change that. I think that
yeah. Because it's really cool. kind of like in X-Men, how there's the whole conversation about mutants and discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
So it could kind of be like that, where we're trying to change
like
the
that.
conversation and make the superpowers accepted.
I'm thinking again, like The Incredibles. You know, they were having to hide who they were for so long.
I know.
And that's, it's sort of, I think, a parallel to people with disabilities. It's not good for anybody. You've got to own
disabilities,
it.
Mental health,
and accept it. Yep.
Exactly. Yep. I like that.
Okay. I'm 100% on board with this. So now that we have our universe decided, I'm going to say that we live in a town that is going to be large enough that is going to have a decent super population just because it's 2% of the population.
Yeah.
Like 2% of 100,000 people is still a lot of people, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping that in mind for what we're going through. Okay. So now, ladies, if you would be so kind as to get out your vertical character sheet. This is the one that helps you with your character creation.
Okay.
There you go. Yes, Shana, thank you so much for Vanna whiting the lovely piece of paper. I really
love
appreciate it.
I love it.
I wish I got paid as much as she does.
Yeah.
If you look here at this prop, yes. All right. So first, character creation tells part of your character's story. So that's why it's considered part of the game itself. It sets the stage for the next part of the story. It gives me all of the juice that I'm going to be creating with. I haven't started writing the story. I write the story or the problems, what's going to happen to you guys after we've done character creation so that I can make a game that is tailored to what you have created.
Okay.
Okay? So this is not a game in a box like a module in D&D. This is all homebrewed. Also, character creation is collaborative. You guys are going to help create each other's character sheets.
Okay.
Now,
I like it.
all right. The first thing we are going to need is your high aspect, your high concept. Your high concept is, how best to describe it? It's a phrase that sums up what your character is all about. Think of it like your job, your role in life, your calling. I recently rewatched the Babysitters Club Netflix TV show, and I checked several Babysitter Club books out of the library.
Yes.
Because I love my local library. Support your library. The more you know. Okay. So the character Claudia, who is the artistic member of the group and my favorite, her high concept would be outrageous fashionista artist, because she is outrageous. She is a fashionista. She is an artist, and those things are very central to who she is. Because she's not just outrageous in how she performs her stuff. She's outrageous in many things, such as all of her candy stashes throughout her bedroom. The way she interacts with others, right? But it could also be, I like it to have at least one or two adjectives. It could also be something like wizard private eye, singing knight of the round table. You can also use it to create things within the environment, like black sheep of the Thompson family, something like that, right? It is, in a sentence, summing up the things that make that person important and make us want to follow what they're doing.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you ladies a few moments to contemplate that.
So I know I wanted my character to be a musician. Does anybody have any objections to that?
No.
No.
No?
I want my
My
character to
character can be musical. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I want my character to be a cheerleader.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
I was not popular in high school, so this is time to reinvent myself.
I am here for it, Brita. I am here for it.
Although I guess I should say I was on dance team all 4 years of high school, and I was captain my senior year. But
I think you were probably more popular than you believe you were.
So
I think we all were in our own ways.
I was very involved, and people liked me, but it's not the same thing as being popular. Like, all the popular kids liked me. They just didn't invite me to their parties. So.
That's fair. That's
relatable too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lynette, you were going to say something?
All right. So, Cindy, what were you thinking for your idea?
I was thinking about some things that are true to who I am about creativity and managing crisis.
Okay.
I always say one of my strongest characteristics is that I'm good at coming up at plan B on the fly. And also the Hufflepuff characteristic of being kind. I don't know how compelling those things are, but you're in a crisis and you need an understanding person who can help you figure it out. That's me.
Okay. Then if that's who you consider there, like compassionate rock foundation, something like that, right?
Okay. I was thinking kindly creative crisis manager.
Perfect. That sounds perfect.
That's your role. Your name tag says that.
Yeah,
Hello, I am kindly creative crisis manager.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my high concept. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lynette, what were you
words.
thinking?
All right, so for me, I want to be. I'll just say what I wrote down just now. My character has endless curiosity and particularly seeks comfort in the darkness. She's curious about things that most people would shy away from and be like, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to have discussions about dark things or think about like death or stuff like that.
Are
Not
you the
necessarily.
female Sebastian?
I am not the female Sebastian.
So you're a goth?
No, I'm not gonna crucio anyone.
So you're a goth?
I'm not. Yes, I'm a goth
Okay.
babysitter.
I like it. I like it.
I like this TikTok of a lady called Call Me Chris, and one of the
I love
characters in her. Oh yeah, one of the characters in her TikTok is a babysitter who's in a band that's I think the name of the band is You're Not My Dad, and yeah, just reminds me of that. Anyway, sorry. Thank you for flying
That's funny.
tangential air. We now return you to your regularly scheduled conversation.
Do we also have to include like what is our superpower in this?
You do not have to do that at this time.
Okay.
So I chose persuasive, creative, and intriguing musician.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that we've got a lot of creativity here because we're going to need it.
Mine's not artistic. Hers is artistic.
Okay.
Mine's practical creativity.
All right. All right.
You gotta be creative to work well with like numbers and like things like that. Technology, even. It's a different kind of creativity.
Yeah. Wolfie and I are both very creative people, but we're creative in different environments. So I get it. He can play the guitar. I most certainly cannot. So now that everybody's got their aspects down, right? Your high concept, you're good? Okay. Now that you have your high concept down, you need your trouble. Your trouble is the answer to a simple question: what complicates your character's existence? Right? For Claudia, her trouble was my family understands me as well as I understand math. Right? Your trouble could be something like tempted by shiny things, the manners of a goat, right? So and so in the underworld hates me, though I don't think we're going to be involved in the underworld. But we could have something like the popular kid hates me, and we would get to name the popular kid, and you have now created this popular kid in our universe that I get to play with.
Okay.
That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
They're either a personal struggle, it's about you and your darker side, or it's a problematic relationship. When we're in teenagers, statistically speaking, it's going to be a problematic relationship because you're a teenager and all you care about is relationships, statistically speaking. Or tween.
I am 100% taking inspiration from my new favorite queer singer, and I'm going to be a closeted lesbian cheerleader.
Ooh, oh! I like it.
Okay, so. There is a really great movie about a cheerleader that gets sent to reprogramming camp.
But I'm a cheerleader?
Work. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen it.
So good! I love that movie so much.
It's amazing.
All right, anyway.
Yeah, so. Zolita has like a series of videos of her being a popular cheerleader who admits that she's a lesbian. It's great.
Excellent. All right. So you have your trouble down easy peasy. So you're in the closet about it though, correct?
Yes, that's why it's a trouble.
That's why it's a trouble.
So, yeah, because otherwise, my character is the ambitious, perky cheerleader. So obviously, being a lesbian is not going to fit in this world.
It might
kind
be
of like
remember
superheroes are also.
We've already got
Sorry,
the superhero thing we got to deal with, and then we got that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like being a lesbian isn't hard enough, but now you've got to be a lesbian and a superhero. Or being a superhero isn't hard enough, and now you got to be a lesbian too.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
It's too much.
So, does anyone else have a trouble in mind that they want to share?
I was thinking maybe like struggles to feel like they have real friends or can make real connections with anybody.
Okay.
Like,
struggles with the loner side kind of thing?
Yeah. I think I like
The
that.
loner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who just wants to play music and, you know, feels like they can't trust people around them.
Struggling introvert?
Yep.
Are you emo?
Sure.
We could be
That's
best
why
friends.
Lynette's character and I get along.
We already know each other.
She listens to my music in the dark.
A one lit candle. As I'm
Golly.
summoning some dead thing.
I
That's
like
my
it.
superpower.
I like it.
I'm just kidding.
Yes. I'm
Drawing
liking
a
all of this.
pentagon and salt.
Yeah.
At this point, Rowan's like, what is she getting herself into?
Oh no, I'm loving this. I just want to point out that your troubles will also have a bright side. Like, for example, if Bella, if you're dealing with someone who's in the closet about something else, you can really empathize with them and help them with that situation. Shanna, if you're dealing with someone who's an introvert, you'll have the ability to be able to connect with someone like that better than people who didn't have that trouble would have. So
Okay.
every trouble has a light and a dark. You usually look at it from the dark side, but it's also got a light because everything's gray. All right, Lynette, what do you have in mind for a trouble?
Okay, I wrote two things. I don't know if they're related or if I just need to choose one. So I wrote dislikes authority and resists conformity. Like those are the two imageries that came to my mind. Because I like to explore and I don't want to be told what to do.
Okay. I can see both of those being one thing.
They make
Okay.
sense together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dislike authority and conformity, and then the little anarchy symbol after it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Good
it.
with that.
Oh, Lynette, you're making me in high school. What are you doing? All right, and Cindy, what do you have in mind?
Well, as part of thinking through this, I thought of something for up above too. And it's something that teachers don't like about me in IT meetings is that I also do outside the box solutions. That's part of that creativity and problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
I can be a little bit of a rebel if somebody gives me a limit and says, we can't do that. I would be why, and why can't we do these things to make it happen? And but that leads to trouble sometimes then where I'm constantly putting out fires. I get distracted from what my purpose is. And I have a hard time saying no. That's the kindly part. So
Okay. So can't say no, or
it's
no
one of
isn't
them.
in my
Or
vocabulary.
don't say no often enough.
Yeah,
that I get sucked into solving all these problems.
Yeah.
Like you can't set boundaries?
Sometimes I've learned in life, but my character, I think, is still learning this. They're young.
Your character.
Yes.
Your character's in
Yeah.
their tweens, so they're going to be.
Yeah, they're young. They haven't learned the boundaries yet. They've got to learn them.
Like, you might want to have boundaries. What are boundaries? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you guys have your main aspect and your trouble, it's time to figure out your character's name. And go ahead and put it on the top. I'm going to send something, a chat in the message real quick. I cannot do this and type at the same time, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
What is my name? I didn't even think of this at all.
I don't know. Why is she stunning us?
I'll just say, at listening to y'all talk, I can see how we're all friends, or I can see how my character can like all three of you. So.
Okay, good.
I can also see how we're all friends in real life too.
I mean, yeah, that's the first thing you were saying. I was like, of course we're all friends. Like,
All right.
Oh yeah, that.
But yes, our characters. I could see how we would all be drawn to each other because
I have my
Other than the
marker
fact that we
and
all
my
have
thing.
superpowers.
Yeah.
well, you know,
That's the base. That's how we all met.
that's how we all met. But that
Oh,
we didn't
we're
have
getting
Friends
there.
with all the supers. Yeah. Okay.
We're getting there. Don't worry. All right. So, who wants to tell me their name?
My name is Blair, but there's more.
I like that. Oh.
That we'll find out later.
Okay, Blair.
Oh.
Blair Witch Project? Question mark.
We are GamerWitches after all. Who's next?
Okay, so I am naming myself after Britt and Mike's child. I am Penny.
Oh, I love it! I love it.
Now I have to tell her that.
All right. I'm going
Penny
to
is such
demand
a
that your
cute name,
character
though.
have red
Yeah.
hair. Just so you know.
What?
I'm going to demand your character be a redhead.
Okay, that's fine.
Every Penny I've ever met has been a redhead, so. Okay.
It's a requirement.
It's a requirement. All right. Who's next?
Oh, because of the copper color.
Yeah.
Did you use a fate point for that, Rowan? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I aimed mine Adrian, and then because we talked about Buffy and it inspired me, Adrian Summers.
Oh, we got a last name
The
here.
last name.
Love it.
You don't know my last name.
Project.
Adrian
name's
Summers.
Project.
Blair Witch
Oh.
Project.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
Oh, the pressure.
We have to come up with first and last names now.
No, you can just do
No,
first name
you
at this point.
You don't.
I was just thinking of another
Character who's been
recent who likes to manage crises and not necessarily with
healthy boundaries and has these quote unquote outside the box solutions. I think of Wanda.
I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. I have Penny, Wanda, Adrian Summers, and Blair ? So,
I love it.
next is what we usually do is called the phase trio. You have 3 more things, aspects that are going to go on your character sheet. However, these 3 are not created by just you.
Okay.
Your first one, you'll see that there's a box to write a paragraph, and then there's a place above it to write your or below it. I can't remember how it's set up on the sheet. Anyway, there's a place to write the aspect. Your first square is your first time you realized you were a super. You are going to tell me what happened. It's not a whole long story. It's just a paragraph, right? How did you find out you were a super? And the aspect is how you are going to use that for this. Like, let's say as an example, because I'm really big into examples, I love them. I love how they make you think. You were walking down the street and you saw some guys like picking on a puppy, and you went to go stop them and you shoved the guy and your arms went right through him. And he freaked out and you freaked out and everybody freaked out and ran away, but you were still able to save the pup, right? So your aspect could be, am I really here ? Or your aspect could be, phase through matter when upset. Whatever you want to pull out of that would be used. But this is where you give yourself the aspect that describes your power. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
All right. So now I am letting my creatives free. Think about it and write your paragraph. I will give you 2 minutes. While I'm doing that, in the chat, please let me know if the audio is inappropriate, if there's anything you're hearing that's not working, like if I'm super loud and everyone else is super quiet, anything like that, anything like tech that I might be able to fix. Also, tell me how your Thursday's going. Thank you, Putter. I haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you. You know, I know that there's a penny in HPMH, but I don't know that well enough to be able to answer.
She's the blonde Hufflepuff.
She's blonde. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And she's really popular.
All right. Well, there is always
That's
an exception to the
No.
rule.
Just kidding.
Yeah, my allergies have actually been flaring up for the first time in like over a year. I'm concerned that my husband joked that I had COVID, and when I got done with the COVID, my allergies showed back up, of course. So it's like, is it allergies? Is it just hanging on for dear life? Who knows? Yay!
It could be just inflammation from having had
COVID, and it's setting off other things that are inflammatory, like allergies.
Yeah.
So.
Just know that I have to drink
I'm
a lot of
ready
water
whenever you
because
guys
otherwise I
are.
cough.
Got my story for my first thing.
Give me a thumbs up when you're done. I've got a thumbs up from Cindy.
So this is the phase 1, your adventure?
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent. Got a thumbs up from Lynette.
Am I supposed to put an aspect there too?
Yeah, I might need help with the aspect, but
okay,
you can help me edit as we share.
Is it from our aspects that we just
listed?
It's going to be a whole new aspect. This aspect is going to be the one that describes your powers. None of the other aspects before described our super bits. This describes your super bits. Putter, that's interesting that you're on Claritin. I used to take Allegra D until my doctor warned me that it could be addictive. So, and also apparently you use that to make meth. So, yeah, he got me off of that. Excellent.
Or if it's the D, if it has the Sudafed in it.
Yeah.
We take Zyrtec. It works pretty well for us.
So I've got mostly thumbs up, a couple wiggles, but we're good. All right.
I've had to rotate allergy pills because I get accustomed to one, it stops working.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have to go to another one.
The joys of our bodies doing what they do. Yay.
Right.
All right. So who would like to share their story of how they got their powers first? Okay, Cindy, I saw a raised hand. Thank you.
Yes, teacher. Well, it was it made sense based on
what I said earlier. So it hit me to be very literal. I said my brother, as a toddler, accidentally started a fire when he stuck something in an outlet. I had a sudden burst of super speed. I grabbed him, put him in a safe place. Then I ran and got the fire extinguisher and put out the fire.
Okay.
In a crisis, boom, it kicked in. So I said the phase 1 aspect super
speed, both physically and intuitively, because I thought to move him first.
Yeah.
Kids don't always think of that.
Okay.
Instead of panicking.
All right. Yeah. I can totally get behind that.
Thanks.
Who else would like to share? Yes, it's my middle school teacher. Well, upper elementary school teachers coming out.
Nobody volunteers.
If no one's going to raise their hand, then I'm going to call on somebody.
I can go.
All right.
Okay, so I was taking like the kiddie gymnastics when I was about 3 or 4, and we started with the very basic stretching to learn how to do the splits. Well, I immediately got my right split and my left split and my center split, and all of the instructors were shocked. And I was like, this is so easy, it's not a big deal. And so I started showing all the other ways that I could bend. So at that point, my coach met with my parents because my coach suspected that I had superpowers. They tested me and they found out that I had basically Elastigirl from the
Elastigirl, yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically Elastigirl.
I love how you can take a disability like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and turn it into a superpower.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what are you putting for your aspect?
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't the aspect the superpower?
Yeah, but how are you wording it?
I think I'm going with elasticity. That's a word, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Super duper bendy.
Super duper bendy. Well, and stretchable. So I'm very much like
your
Elastigirl
yoga
from The
teacher's favorite idea.
Yeah. But I'm like the what was that, like that 80s toy, like the Stretch'em
Oh,
guy?
Gumby?
Oh, I had one even.
Yeah, I was thinking Gumby also.
It's like the Mr. Stretch.
Yeah. He looks like a little wrestler.
It looks
or
like a wrestler. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember either.
Yeah.
You're like a human rubber band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Shannon or Lynette, which one gets to go next?
Lynette can go.
All right. So, Blair, question mark, had a pet frog. I had a pet frog that died, and I was very sad. And I was overcome with emotions looking at him. His name was Henry. Or his name is Henry, because he became somehow animated when I was overcome with emotion. And I realized that I used my mind. I have psychic power, and my ability is telekinetic, things where I use my mind with psychic power.
Cool.
So you can move things with your mind?
Mm-hmm.
So you were moving your froggy with your mind?
I was moving him. So
you did not bring him back from the dead. I wanted to clarify.
I wrote that down also, but I was like, that's too much. I can't ask for two things in one go, can I?
I would argue that bringing something back from the dead, necromancy, and telekinesis together are a bit OP.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to
I wrote it down because I also wrote that I could trap souls and redirect energy, and I was like, no, this is too much. So if you're okay with me saying
when you're an adult, you can gate all
I know, I'm working up to there. I want to trap souls eventually. Can I do that? I'm telling you, Blair is something else.
Blair is indeed something else. All right. So you're wanting to work up to being able to play with soul matter. So it sounds like you're wanting to go the narcolepsy, not narcolepsy, my goodness.
I mean,
that's just me.
Necromantic power. Yes.
Narcolepsy is just me, Rowan.
I have it too, so I get it. All right. So, okay, so necromancy is the power you're wanting to go for.
Yes, I'll go with that.
All right.
So I can trap souls.
Eventually. Not yet.
Eventually. Not yet. I know.
I would put as your aspect. Death is just the beginning.
Death is just the beginning. Yes.
Okay. ...
Yeah. All right, Shanna, my love, what have you got for us?
All right. So if it's too much or if it sounds stupid, please tell me.
Okay.
So I was thinking that like when I was around like 5 or 6 years old, I had a bully who was bullying me when we were outside playing, and I made him get stuck in the mud and he couldn't get out by singing about it. So my thing is that I can control and influence kind of the world around me through music.
You're a
Oh, I
spell
love
singer.
that. It could be like a sound
Lynette,
wave.
what was that game
Where you had to play the game
Yeah.
by singing.
Oh, that
Remember?
one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what was it called?
Rapper.
You had to sing, and
Oh.
it made your character like jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
That's
can't think of it
awesome.
right now. But it's
Okay,
really cool.
so that's an actual type of magic known as spell singing, where you can
Okay.
influence. It's the idea is that you're reaching into the harmonic level of the thing that you're trying to touch. So I would
Oh, hi,
argue.
Peter.
okay.
So like
Peter
if
said it's like being a siren.
yeah, like a siren.
Oh.
That sounds great. So
Mhm.
how do you want to aspect that out? How do you want to, like, is it more you're influencing them, or are you influencing people's emotions? Are you influencing matter itself?
Like the idea of it being matter. So like I could make the things move, like I made the mud like suck him into it and he couldn't get out, like things like that.
Okay, all right. Um, so all matter, according to quantum physicists, is just waves. So you can sing any wave.
Okay.
Does that sound feasible to you or understandable to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. I like it.
And I totally agree, and I love the fact that it sounds like you're going to be Jigglypuff. So,
Yeah.
I do like Jigglypuff. I do. Except we're not just gonna put people to sleep and then get angry.
my favorite Pokemon, I've got a little crystal ball with a Jigglypuff inside it.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, love it. Anyway, so now that we have our first story, we're not going to be able to, with this environment, be able to exchange papers and talk about how we're changing someone else, right? So the way it's going to be is if you could go into the in-character chat, I'm going to assign you a partner, right?
Okay.
So first, we have Adrian and Blair, and Penny and Wanda. So Adrian and Blair, your partners. Penny and Wanda, your partners.
Okay.
Your story is going to be, how did you help each other through the experience, through that first story? Did you wander upon them when they were having an emotional moment because of it? Did you help them realize that this is okay? Were you in training classes together? How did this work, right? So you're going
Okay.
to be in some way or another, you are helping them through the experience of their first story. Okay?
Okay, I'm lost a little bit. Who am I paired with?
So, okay.
With me.
So, Cindy, you and
Okay.
Brita, and Lynette and Shana.
Okay. And I'm going to help her.
How you helped each
Develop.
other through your first, when you first found out that you had powers.
Okay, gotcha.
And if you guys want to talk about it over the thing as well, that's fine. It's just, I can't influence it.
You stay out of it, Rowan.
I'm staying out of it. I'm not involved. We have someone asking if your frog is French.
Are frogs French? I don't know anything about frogs. This is my oversight.
I would say that your frog can sing "Hello, my baby," "Hello, my honey," "Hello, my ragtime gal."
That's the first thing that I made Henry do is sing that.
Dance with the little hat.
When I brought him back to life, that's what he did.
I don't know if Henry is a French name. I know that. No, I don't think
Henri.
so, because Henri is the French version of it. Henry
Yes.
was a British king, so it can't be French because they didn't get along so well. Yeah. They make random letters silent. I'm tutoring someone in reading who lives in Louisiana, and having to teach them the French words as well as the English words in their area has been fun. Bless you.
Thank you.
So like, they're like, how do I pronounce this word? And I'm like, that word is pronounced beignet. And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, it's pronounced beignet. It doesn't look like it, but that's how it's pronounced.
All right, I think Blair and I have our story.
Okay. Excellent. Well, we have a moment. My sister-in-law gave me this. Not the bottle, the sticker on it. It's the Ilvermorny school.
That's awesome. Where'd she get that?
I have no idea. She said she found it somewhere online, but I can't find anything for Ilvermorny. And the fact that she was able to find the whole thing for it, I was just, oh, yeah, so happy. Brita and Cindy, you need another couple moments?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're close, though. We have the outline.
All right, excellent.
Yeah. So, tell me what you think about that, Brita.
So the question is, which thing happened first?
I think they're different days. It didn't have to happen
The same day, did they?
No.
Maybe yours happened first. Because then it would already be, unless that was how we discovered.
No, you said you discovered yours at gym practice when you did the splits.
So I'm thinking then we knew, and you Elastigirl did the way to doing the thing I said when my thing happened, and I jumped into action.
Trying to think. Yeah, okay, that makes sense because I could stretch to do that.
Yes. So I ran and scooped him up, and you reached and hit
the alarm and helped get everybody out.
Yeah, okay.
And then I remembered where I'd seen the fire extinguisher
when we had a tour or a safety tour or something. I don't know. I'm only 4 years old, but
I'm pretty quick, intuitively, right?
Yeah.
There we go. That works.
All right, we're good?
I think so.
All right. So, Lynette and Shanna, you get to share your story first, because I can speak in English.
All right. Do you want to tell the story, Lynette?
I'll start and you can fill in as needed.
Sure.
Okay, so Blair lives next door to Adrian, and always, for a while, noticed that Adrian doesn't hang out with many people. So already Blair's like, okay, you're not part of cliques. I don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. So even though before this point where my frog Henry died, I wasn't super close with Adrian. When Henry died, he was the first person I went to and was like, hey, my frog's dead, and something weird happened. And then I showed Adrian my reanimated frog. I don't know what dance or song was going on, but because Adrian is such a musician, he wrote a song that we definitely know.
Yeah,
kind of,
for sure.
yeah.
It sounds kind of like the Crazy Frog song, if you've ever heard it. But ding 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 ding.
So that was instantly a bonding moment, of course.
Of course, yes.
So I started hanging out with Adrian a bit more, and he was getting bullied by this really, really basic kid who thought they were all that. So, yeah, I pushed the bully into the mud, and we continued to develop our friendship. And what else do we do, Adrian?
One of our favorite hobbies to do together is to go trekking through the woods and find already dead animals that we can reanimate and make songs and play with.
Yeah, so far
so you
it's mostly
have
rodents.
A backup singers who are undead squirrels.
Yeah, squirrels, raccoons, rats. I don't know.
Sometimes
I haven't
bugs. Like
As
if
a
that's
backup
what's available,
chorus.
that's what's available.
I haven't seen many big things, so there's still tiny rodents, mostly bugs and rodents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I just love everything about this. So, how did this friendship change, or how does that describe, Shana, a piece of you? How did that change you, or?
Because Blair is the only person that I consider like someone I can trust.
Okay.
They're the closest person to me.
I 100% trust Blair. Something like that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lynette, what did this experience, what did your character take from it? How did she grow from that?
Blair, as much as she loves the color black and being in the dark and with dead things, found that you can combine that with music and dancing and joy, which is not something that she typically does, but you can kind of blend darkness and like jovialness together, and it's kind of weird and kind of cool and kind of creepy at the same time.
Okay. Yeah. What's that?
Like
spoopy? That. Is it? It's not spooky. Yeah. It's that cute
creepy.
But creepy. Yeah.
Oh, cute but creepy. Yes. She's starting to build some cute and creepy vibes.
Excellent.
I like it.
Like your Wicked Maker friends, Lynette.
Uh-huh.
All right. Cindy and Bella, what you got for us?
You want to start?
Yeah. Okay, so Wanda and I were in the same gymnastics class. And so when we were 4 years old, so she was there when I got the splits really easily. And some of the other kids in class, they were jealous. And so they started making fun of me and like making my flexibility a bad thing. And Wanda stood up for me. So I remembered that. So after our coach like talked to my parents and was like, hey, she might actually have superpowers. You need to like test her. And they confirmed that I did in fact have superpowers. Wanda is the only person I told because I didn't feel comfortable. I already like people were already being mean to me because I was flexible. I thought they were gonna be really mean to me if they knew I had superpowers. But Wanda was nice, so I told her.
Aw, okay. So, what did that experience, and what was...
Sorry, that was my half of how she supported me, and then I was going to let Cindy continue with the next part.
All right.
Okay. So after that all happened, there was another time we were at gymnastics lessons, and I'm guessing one of my parents was there with my little toddler brother, and he crawled off when parent wasn't looking very well and picked up something stupid off the floor. He's like 18 months old.
And tried to shove it in
the electric outlet and
Again.
started a fire. So this is that instance when that happened.
That instance,
and we
okay.
just moved it to the gym so we could
Okay.
both be there, and she can help me discover or be there at my discovery time. So when that happened, I think I exclaimed or something, and Bella saw it too, and I kicked into the super speed and super decision making, and Bella stretchy armed her way out
to hit the fire alarm and help
get everybody out of the building while I scooped up brother, ran him out. Yeah, I'm 4 years old, but I had the presence of mind because of that speed of intuition
to go grab the fire extinguisher and go back and put it out while everybody else waited outside for the fire department.
Okay, yeah.
So she was like my partner
in crime that day and supported me and
stepped outside of her comfort zone, I think, with
her superpower to help save people.
Yeah.
Because that was me revealing my superpower to all the kids who had made fun of me.
Yeah.
So
if they were paying
and I was
attention.
just like panicked. I didn't even think about what I was doing. That was when it first happened
to me.
Yeah.
So deal with the fallout later.
All right. So, who wants to go first as to how that would be an aspect of you?
I think we got each other's back.
So you can both have, I've got this person's back on your character sheet. Or you could have something like, I owe so-and-so everything. Or...
Yeah, I would say, like, that, I always remembered that Wanda was nice to me when I was being made fun of, and I was like, I want to carry that value with me, and I don't want anyone else to ever feel left out.
Okay, so instead of having it be about her, you could have it as, I'm always rooting for the underdog kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's because she was so nice to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that...
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I still want to be like, okay, like, that made us lifelong friends, but I also want it to be that it helped, like, shape my personality.
Okay. But which part do you think is more important for how it shaped your personality? Your friendship? Because I think you're going to be friends regardless of the situation at this point. Or how you treat people in general.
Let's go with the, I guess, like, the how I treat people.
Okay.
She encouraged me to always be the nice one.
Okay.
Because she was nice to me.
All right. And Cindy, what aspect do you think you're going to pull out for that?
Well, from that incident, I'm thinking I would have been inspired by the fact that despite Rita kind of hiding who she really was, and later this will be in more than one way, that she still went outside of herself and reached out and took care of that fire alarm and did what had to be done. And but that, now I've discovered I have a superpower too, and it's going to help us both to like support each other to be our authentic selves and to stand up for who we are and that kind of thing. That, maybe she gave me confidence to, not feel like I had to hide having superpower or something.
I find it interesting that you're pulling from it that she gave me confidence not to hide when she herself is hiding. So I think that would be a really good aspect to use.
Well, it reminds me of one of my favorite sayings about courage, that courage is just fear that said its prayers and done what it had to do anyways. So in that moment, even though she may have been afraid on her own, she did what she had to do regardless. And that was courage. So
excellent.
That inspires me.
I love everybody's stories. All right, now that you have your aspects, you are going to be working in another group. So now we've got Brita and Shana.
Okay.
And Cindy and Lynette. Now you guys are going to be talking, but this story is going to be taking place in the last year or two. So we're in a middle school, late middle school, early high school, depending on your areas. We'll say late middle school. We're late middle school people now. So this is a story happening with you guys and your pairs within the last couple of years.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're middle. Yeah. Okay. I suppose I never
Never filled this in as phase 2 for what we just did. I'm gonna
Yeah.
read this down real quick before I forget what it said.
No, yeah,
Courage
good.
and inspiration.
is what I said is the aspect.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coming. Oh.
I really liked what you had said, that courage has said its prayer, is fear that has said its prayers.
Yeah. You still afraid.
Yeah.
But you
I really like that.
don't let it stop you. Oh, then I don't know.
So yeah, this is phase 3, crossing paths again. Harmony, I totally agree with you. Tipsy Wolf, I'm loving the little pictures you're putting in my stream. This little dragon holding a heart. So cute.
Oh my god, that is super cute.
It's a little like a purple kind of wolf thing
That's adorable.
with a crown on.
Lynette's all about the purple wolf.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have the purple wolf warrior tee.
I love it.
I'm actually reading a book right now. It's on my desk even. Rejection Proof. It's about a gentleman's experience in. He was so afraid of people telling him no that he realized he needed to break that. So he spent 100 days trying to get people to tell him no and blogging about it. And yeah, it was very fascinating. About how rejection is more about the person who rejects you as opposed to yourself. How it's always an opinion and it can be changed. How you can beat fear. Which is good because I deal with anxiety all the time. That emote is cute.
Oh, and then I forgot you said your superpower was.
It's necromancy, so I bring dead things to life.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're there then.
I played in a D&D campaign that was a good campaign, yet one of the people wanted to play a necromancer. And we figured out a way to do that. So I might have to use that here. Because in D&D, you can't be a necromancer and still be a good person. She's a good person, she just can't help the fact that that's the type of magic she can do.
So I don't accept these as much anymore, but I am constantly getting offers to get books because people want me to review them on my blog. And one of the ones I read and reviewed a couple years ago was like a really interesting fantasy novel with different magic powers and stuff, and it's sisters, and like their dad was like natural in necromancy, but it was considered like obviously like evil magic, and he did it, and it's like a journey of them discovering that maybe it's not evil. The book was a little complicated. Like I felt like it either would have worked better as a series, or that they just really needed to tone it down because there were just almost like too many details. But I liked that idea that it's not by default evil. So
yeah. A long time ago, I haven't read any of the books in ages. I only read like the first 5 or 6 books in the series. But Anita Blake is a book series that the main character is. She's homicidally pragmatic. I mean, she fixes problems by killing it. But she is a licensed monster hunter who's also a necromancer. So, which gets really awkward when she's like has friends that are vampires and stuff. So yeah. Oldies but goodies.
I hear a lot of cheering in the other room.
So how y'all doing? Needing a
We're
bit more
good.
time?
I think we've kind of got, plans.
Yeah. Okay. How are you guys doing? Other side.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
You're good?
We're good on that.
Yeah.
All right.
We got it roughed out.
Yay! So who wants to share first?
Okay, I think Shana and I are. Shana, do you feel ready about our?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
How we met? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm a cheerleader, and y'all know that I'm an ambitious cheerleader, and so the cheer squad actually organized the school talent show, and it was my responsibility to get students to audition to participate in the talent show. And I knew that Adrian was a super talented musician, but kind of shy, kind of reluctant. And so I convinced him that he should really be in the talent show because, the world just needed to hear his beauty and his contribution to everything. And Adrian really wasn't sure about it. And so I just got super empathetic and was like, Adrian, I understand what it's like not to fit in. I know it's hard to understand because I'm so popular now. But when I.
Sorry, that was an audible level eye roll.
You're like in character, Brita. It's perfect.
But when I was 4, the other kids in gymnastics class were so mean to me because I had superpowers. But you know what? I ended up leaning into having superpowers, and look at me now. I'm head cheerleader. And the thing is, you're just super talented at singing and stuff. And I think that you would be a great benefit to the entire school if you performed in our talent show. So.
And even though I was super reluctant, I caved in and decided to go with it. And when the night we were doing rehearsals for the talent show, some things really started to fall apart for poor Penny. The stage was falling apart, decorations were falling, and there was mass panic, and I had to use my music to save the day and put everything back together and make it sturdy again. So that's when Penny learned that I had superpowers myself.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I was like, Adrian, and then I just did that whole that thing, which, okay, let's be honest, y'all know I do in real life, where I just run up really enthusiastically and just jump and hug, right?
It's known as a glomp. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So when Adrian fixed everything, I just ran over to him and was like, oh my god, Adrian, you were the best. I had no idea you had powers, and then you used them to save the talent show. Oh my god, we're gonna be best friends. I love you forever. So, like that.
All right. So, what are the aspects from that situation that you two are taking away from that?
So I learned the importance of going out of my comfort zone and doing things that maybe I'm not as originally open to doing in order to grow from those experiences.
Okay. So how do you want to put that in a sentence, though? No, you're fine. Like, how are you wanting to word it?
In a sentence or in a couple words?
Usually in a couple words, and an aspect can always be changed later. So if you don't like the way it's worded now, you can word it some other way later.
So I know how to, or when to challenge myself when I'm uncomfortable.
Okay. That sounds good to me. And what about you, Brina?
I realize that even though I'm ambitious and like self-reliant, that it's okay to rely on other people and I don't have to do everything myself.
Okay, all right. You don't have to rely on everyone. You can rely on other people, kind of.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so Cindy and Lynette, what have you got for us?
Okay, I'm gonna adjust the beginning just a little bit, Cindy.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, Wanda and Blair met in, we're saying, biology class, and in biology class, Blair has this curiosity, and so she brings dead things to life, but she wanted to see what might happen if things went the other direction. So we had plants, and I definitely killed one. But then I was like, oh no, this is bad, this is bad. So I tried to revitalize it a little bit to be back to where it was. But I accidentally brought it too much to life so that it became like animated.
Little Shop of Horrors.
So Wanda used super speed to switch it out with another plant so that nobody noticed that there was something wrong with it. Wanda, do you want to share what you did with it?
Oh, I would say I ran and put it in the forest
and grabbed some other random plant out of the forest and ran back real fast with that before anybody even realized I had gone. But on my way to the forest, I was dealing with this plant that was like attacking me,
more and hungry and
all of that. So
I think that made it kind of challenging, and
I needed
Please tell me you
Blair. I needed Blair to try to see if she could also do the reverse with her powers. Yeah, feed me.
So it's like turning the knobs, like extreme one way, extreme the other way. Like, oh, I'm just trying to find the balance here.
So it wouldn't hurt me.
And I don't know what the resolution was on that, but after I dropped it and I got back with the other plant that was not animated,
I said to her later, you know, I don't want to be rescuing you all the time. So you need to learn to practice time and place with your necromancy. Because yeah, and I think she appreciated that lesson, and that my biology lab partner was not where I wanted to be doing that.
Yeah, maybe not in class.
Not in class.
Not in class. All right. So, what aspects did you guys pull out for that?
Oh, I don't even know.
So I wrote that Blair learned that curiosity can be dangerous if done recklessly, without thoughtfulness or consideration of possible outcomes. Not that she would necessarily prevent herself or start hesitating, but to be more aware that there are consequences to her being curious.
Curiosity has consequences.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes
Excellent.
curiosity kills the cat,
or revives the undead cat.
Well, and that takes me to what just occurred to me is with all my years of scouting and taking first aid and everything. You always learn that when there's a situation, a crisis like this, you have to first of all, quote unquote, survey the scenes. You have to make sure that what your plan of attack is to solve the problem is going to be safe. And I didn't think about it. I just jumped right in and grabbed that monster of a plant and started running with it all the while it's trying to eat me. So I think what I learned from this situation was I need to think, don't jump right in. I need a better plan before I use that super speed next time.
Thinking needs to happen before action, kind of thing.
Right. There you go.
Got it. All right. So you now have all of your aspects. You have your primary, you have the core of who you are, you have your trouble, you have the three aspects that talk about how you guys are interconnected and how you became a superpower in your own right. So now it's time to talk about skills. I have here
Yes.
the list of skills, and if you have a copy of the book by any chance, these skills are listed on page 97.
Okay.
I changed some of the skills. For instance, I don't think that burglary would be an appropriate skill for tweens.
Right.
Right.
I don't know.
So I
Well.
changed it to breaking and entering because that feels
Oh,
more
okay. I gotcha.
appropriately labeled for that.
Okay.
I did want to
Well, then
point.
maybe shoplifting a pack of gum would have been a middle school.
Thing to happen.
Yeah, but that would probably be more under stealth or something like that. But regardless,
Yeah, there
I
you
also
go.
changed shoot since we have all agreed that guns are not going to be involved in this storyline. I have
Yeah.
changed shoot to aim. So your ability to aim anything, whether that's throwing your wiggly arm that can extend across the room, or chucking the sound waves at the appropriate thing, or being able to aim if you're throwing something with super speed, or making sure you only raise a particular thing from the dead, not all of the things. So your aim would be that instead. I do have two marked as well. They are physique and will. Where those end up on your skill tree will make it so that you get more ability to take physical or emotional stress. Okay. So the way this works,
The
if you
skill
don't,
sheet is what page again?
it's on page 97.
40? 97. Okay, got it.
What are the last three? Physique, rapport. I'm writing them down.
Oh
so.
yeah, sorry.
Aim and will. Okay.
Aim and will. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. So, I'm going to roll some dice here, so we just decide who gets to go first in choosing. So it's either blue or gold, so it's either going to be Lynette or Cindy. And it's going to be Cindy. You get to pick first.
Okay.
So you're going to be, the way this works is that everybody gets to pick a skill that is their +4 skill. They're absolutely, I am the best at this, and no one else can be better at this than me. Skill.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense? Right?
Okay.
So you get
Yeah.
one great skill, then you get 2 good skills, and you do not have to write down your 3 fair and your 4 average skills. You can do that in game if you want to. But I do require that you at least figure out your 1 great and your 2 goods before we get into gameplay.
Okay.
Does that make sense? All right.
Yeah.
So
I think
Cindy,
a chronic problem solver should be really good at resources.
okay. Resources
that-
usually things like money,
Oh, okay.
like your daddy's rich.
I'm thinking like pulling things out of the hat, a rabbit out of
The hat when you need it, kind of thing.
Okay. I would say that would be more.
Drive?
Drive is driving a car or something else.
Okay. Let me go down to
Perhaps.
the.
Perhaps will, because that is your mental state. Crafts is your ability to make stuff.
Okay.
Fix things and create things. But sometimes you need that as part of your. And making useful things, making the things better than new. It's MacGyver.
Yeah.
Might be good. I don't know. I still scroll down to resources, the big page of resources. I don't think fight. That's not me. What about lore, maybe?
Okay. Lore is more book knowledge as opposed to street smarts, but we can use it as general smarts.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
it
talking
says
about being
lore.
quick with my intuition.
Yeah.
I wrote love.
But
But that would be
Lore
good for
love.
Cindy too.
It would
oh,
be.
wait
It
a
would
minute.
be.
Notice is the counterpart to investigate, representing character's overall perception, ability to
Pick out details.
other powers of observation. It's very quick compared to investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, but notice is the thing I said I need to do before I jump in and
Act. And I don't have a strong skill in that. That's something I'm still learning.
Okay.
so that would not be it, right?
If it's something you're still working on, then I would say, honestly, for your character, I wouldn't be surprised if it was empathy.
Empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I think empathy makes sense
Okay.
for your character.
I do too.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
All right, so I've got a check mark next to an empathy. No one else can take that as their +4. So our next, I'm leaving her dice out. I'm checking the others. And that is going to be blue. So that is Lynette.
Oh. Okay, so I already ranked all of these of what I
Of course you
wanted.
did.
I want notice as my great. So
Okay.
part of that is I want to be observant. I don't want to be impeded by darkness because I live in the darkness, or I like the darkness. So notice is the one that I want.
That makes complete and utter sense to me. So now we've got the pink dice and the purple dice. Let's see which one comes up first. We got a blank, a blank. There we go. Pink.
I think I know who that is.
Yeah.
Rita.
Who's pink?
Sorry.
Oh no. I want rapport.
You want
Is
rapport?
mine.
All right.
That one makes sense, yeah.
That's great, Bridge.
Rapport.
Cheerleader.
The perky
Yep.
popular cheerleader. Everyone likes me.
Okay.
And
I can't
Shanna.
decide. So you guys can help me. Maybe I was trying to decide between either deceive and stealth.
Ooh.
Because I think they could both make sense.
Deceive is your ability to act. Stealth is your ability to hide.
Right.
I feel
Sounds
like
hide
stealth
is what you like to
goes.
do.
Yeah, I feel like that goes along with the loner introvert kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can slip out of parties unnoticed.
Lurking in the background.
Yeah.
So since you got to pick last, you get to pick the first thing that you're getting as your +3 next.
I think then maybe for my +3 we could do deceive.
Okay, that makes sense to
Since
me.
I couldn't decide.
Yeah, that makes sense. And going in reverse order, that means that Brita is next to pick her first +3.
I definitely knew what my first choice was going to be.
Honestly, I think athletics would be really helpful for your character.
I was actually thinking that, like, as a cheerleader, and
Yeah.
I'm super bendy, so yeah, I can do athletics.
All right.
Also, what's the rule for I know each of us can only have one unique great.
Mm-hmm.
Do we also have unique good ones? How does that work?
We try to have unique good ones, but if we can't, like for story reason or things like that, then I can make an exception, but I try to have unique goods as well.
Okay.
All right, so the next person who gets to choose again is Lynette.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with I'll just say I'm deciding between will and investigate. Those are my next two. Well, deceive is up there, but that's taken. So will and investigate are my next two.
Ooh, I can see both of them. Because you're putting your will out there to control. You've got psychic powers effectively. You're bringing people back from the dead. So will makes sense to me.
Okay, I'm gonna put that first.
Yeah.
Because that was the next one in line.
All right.
And what did you say for that? Because I had a little.
Oh, that is going to be deciding how much stress you can take, mental stress you can take.
Oh, I see. So that's
So-
part of the thing on the bottom
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, your
Okay.
consequences abilities. And Cindy, which one do you want for your first +3?
Oh, I'm still kind of looking at it. I'm tempted to take drive as a counterpart
To my super speed as a person,
that I could also hop in a vehicle and get us out of crazy solutions and
Well, I would
drive
argue
like
that drive would also work with if you're like super running, because you're going to have to know how to take corners.
yeah.
Because if you don't, you'll run
Yeah.
into walls when you try to turn left.
I'm just picturing in my mind the Shang-Chi movie.
when they were driving that bus and the fights are going on and all of that and just the crazy obstacles and stuff. So I think, yeah.
Drive is good.
All right, you're going to be the character who gets your driver's license first. Gotcha. All right,
I'll be the
so
one out
14 driving the farm truck all over the place.
yep. So of those that are left, is there anyone that wants to call out, this one's mine, I want dibs on? Or not in any order at this point?
I kind of want aim.
Okay.
Because as a musician, you have to be precise. So
hit the pitch and whatever.
Yep.
yeah.
That's true.
And playing guitar, you want to like hit the right fret and the right string and
Yeah.
I want contacts.
All right.
Shana suggested that for me, and I think that was a good idea.
I agree.
I'm torn because now I'm looking at provoke. It was not on my list before, but I'm thinking about like scaring people who are mean to us or coming after us with dead things coming to life. Like now that's the thing. That's the thing that I do, right?
I love
Just
it.
an
I love
army
it.
of dead rats coming for you.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna write provoke if that's okay.
Yeah, that's
Cindy.
cool.
Yep.
And Cindy, what's the one you want?
I think if I couldn't get the athletics, the physique one would be good.
What did you say? The physique?
Physique.
Okay.
Yeah. The
That's your
counterpart to
physical strength.
athletics.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be
Now,
good.
I'm going to continue to hold this up in case you want to put anything down in your +2s, but you do not need to tell us, and we do not need to figure out who's doing what of those. But you might want to look to see what skills you think we might need that none of us have, and you think might be
How many
useful.
+2s do we get?
You get
Two.
two.
Oh, sorry.
You get 3
Oh.
+2s and 4
Okay.
+1s.
Okay.
Okay.
But now we
All
can
right, I've
overlap,
got mine.
right?
Can we tell each other?
Yes, at
So
this
that
point you
way-
can overlap if you want, and you can tell
Okay.
each other if you want.
So I'm going with investigate, breaking and entering, and crafts.
All right.
I'm a break and enter for us. I got you guys.
I'm just putting a dot next to them.
Okay, I'm putting lore, resources, and empathy.
Okay. So, for sure.
Because Wanda taught me that.
Aww.
Excellent.
Aw.
That's so sweet. Okay.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Sorry.
am I good?
Blair's gonna do investigate, stealth, and lore.
All right. Investigate, stealth, and lore. We do not. The only ability that no one has chosen yet is fight.
Oh. I can also switch out fight for one of these.
I think it's perfectly understandable if you tweens, no one has fight.
Don't want to fight? Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
Hey, I can
perfectly
just scare
understandable.
people away. I'll leave mine. I'll leave
I think
mine.
that could be something we
She's already
could learn
provoking
along the
people.
way.
She's-
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's already provoking people. She's going to get into
Fights no matter what.
You're gonna write the check, but someone else is gonna have to cash it. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. I've got two, but I don't have a third. I said before about resources, and
I
I
know,
Blair also picked it, that
I think if I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to be rescuing people.
people, sometimes that might mean bailing them out of jail and stuff. I'm going to need resources like that.
Okay.
Because that's kind of my thing. And then I was also thinking about Will.
Okay.
Did anybody pick Will?
Will has been picked
Yeah,
as. Yeah, but you can pick it again. That's fine.
It says it represents my general level of mental fortitude in the same way that physique
Represents my physical fortitude. So I like
Right.
that because of what I said about my speed.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me.
Yeah, being determined or whatever to, solve these problems. But I'm missing a third. Any suggestions?
Questions?
Yeah. Any suggestions for Cindy, guys?
I mean, you could do athletics as your fair.
yeah.
I have it as my good.
Yeah, I could. I was thinking it probably fit there. That's why I picked physique earlier, because I didn't
Could
pick it. All right.
You could
so we'll do
also
that.
have rapport too, though.
Yeah.
Especially with you and Penny being best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since I have physique, I'll skip the athletics then. So rapport.
will and resources.
All right. Just gonna set this bad boy down then. And I usually encourage people to choose their plus ones in the moment. It's a way to CYA in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the last thing requires you to have a copy of the book in some way, or get really creative.
Okay.
All right.
I bought the PDF.
Okay. Stunts, which are part of skills. If you go into the skills, which start on page 97.
Yeah.
Stunts are little tricks and ways that you can break the game or bend the rules. And you want to either pick or invent 3 to 5 stunts. And I'm perfectly okay if you only want to maybe even do one right now and then figure them out as we play. Because you might be, I have no idea what game is like, so I don't know how to bend the rules for it yet. I get that.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure, I can totally give you some examples.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to go over into my stunts and skill section and choose crafts. There is the craft of always making useful things. You don't ever have to spend a fate point to declare that you have the proper tool for a particular job using crafts, even in extreme situations like being imprisoned and separated from all your stuff. The source of opposition is just off the table, aka you're MacGyver.
Okay.
Or another one could be from Provoke. Okay, fine. You can use Provoke in place of empathy to learn a target's aspects by bullying them until they reveal one to you. The target defends with their will. Or, also another Provoke stunt is Armor of Fear. You can use Provoke to defend against fighting attacks, but only until the first time you're dealt stress in a conflict. You can make your opponents hesitate to attack, but when someone shows that you're only human, your advantage disappears. Does that make sense? Yes.
Does the stunt have to be something that is our strength, our great or good
ones.
I usually encourage people to have one stunt associated with their strength.
Right.
Like they're great, to show how they're extra awesome
Mhm.
at that. However,
Okay.
because you are all supers, you can also use a stunt to create a like define your superpowers a bit more clearly, or how they work, or how you want them to work. Like, Lynette, you can make it so that your will is what, however you roll on will is however many undead creatures you can create in a round.
Oh, I want that.
Right? Or
All the undead.
or you
I'm
can
sorry
have
for doing this to you.
I
I'm just gonna have
it's not
dead
the
rats
worst
and
game I
raccoons.
played. I played
Sebastian.
I ran a game that was a cyberpunk universe, and one of the characters was a Luddite and did not believe in technology.
Oh
And
no.
I still had to keep him in the game. So, you're fine.
Okay.
And it actually ended up being pretty fun because it became wacky. And people enjoy that.
I think I have an idea what my first stunt will be.
Okay, what's your idea?
Let me find it again. Nose for trouble.
Ah,
You can use empathy instead of notice to determine your turn order in a conflict, which
would be helping me jump in first, provided you've got a chance to observe or speak to those involved for at least a few minutes beforehand during this scene.
So I'm having a nose for trouble.
that makes a
Finding those
lot of
crises.
sense for your speed character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Shanna, do you have any ideas?
I might need some help, but
Of
I'm
course.
trying to think of something that would go with like the whole like controlling things through music as well as being stealthy. I'm wondering if maybe like I can literally use music to make myself invisible in a
Oh,
situation.
okay.
Like you strum a particular like note, and it's just like
And it's like I become the invisibility
it becomes
cloak.
your yeah yeah.
Well, light. I would argue that the name of it would be "Light is Just a Wave."
Okay.
And that you can increase your ability to be not seen, but you will be easier to be heard when doing that.
Ah, okay.
Oh, perfect.
So I would have to be quietly
Yeah.
making this.
You're easier to be heard, but you're harder to be seen.
Okay.
What was
Okay.
the name of that still?
We're
Light is
inventing it.
just a wave.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know where it was in the thing. I'll find it.
We could just call it light
No,
wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how you're getting me
I
to
like it.
use my knowledge about quantum physics because I don't get to pull that particular rabbit out of the hat very often. And I appreciate it.
Okay, so this is for one of my fair strengths, not my greater good.
Mhm.
But I read about that. The
Oh.
lore stunt.
Yeah. I like that one. You can't be surprised with stuff.
I'm an ambitious character who's like trying to do everything at school and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I've read about that.
I kind of think your character's overcompensating a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm extremely popular and everybody likes me and I'm perfectly normal, thank you.
How many stunts do we get?
You can have 3 stunts and not have any change to how many how much fate points you get or you start play
Okay.
with. I'm trying to remember how many, and I'm not remember. Okay. You start with a refresh of 3. That means you start each game with 3 fate points at least, unless you ended the last game with more than 3, then more than your base, then you start with extra. If you pick 4 stunts, your refresh goes down to 2, and if you pick 5 stunts, your refresh goes down to 1. So the
So
more
we can like write down ideas for stunts now, but then like not choose one until it's needed, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
I very much encourage people to leave their character sheet at least partially blank, because you're not going to know what your character would need or would be able to do until you're in the moment.
Or would encounter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with stunts for right now?
Yep.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing is your stress and consequences.
Wait, did Lynette share her stunt?
I'm doing the will thing, but I also am gonna I put down danger sense so that I can detect danger around us with our notice or with my notice.
So Spidey sense.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in tune with
Like
the
my
dead
name?
and the sense. Yeah.
Peter
All right.
Tingle.
So is there anyone that has physique as their +4?
No.
Is there anyone who has physique as their +3?
Me.
Okay. So if you have a +3 physique, that means you get 2 more physical stress boxes. So your physical stress, you know how it has the 1 and the 2 already filled in dark? The 3 and the 4 are kind of grayed out. You can color those in, you can trace that with pen to make you know that yes, you have 3 and 4 physiques.
Okay, so I have all 4 of those.
You have all 4 of those, right?
Okay.
Is there anyone who has an average or the +1 or the +2 for physique? Okay. Because if you have
we
physique,
haven't picked any +1s yet.
Yeah.
So.
If you have physique as your +2, then you can put an additional. You get 3 physical stress instead of 2.
Sounds like Lynette might want to pick physique if she's bringing all these dead things to life. She gets physical stress extra.
I have will as like a high one.
So will is your mental stress. So if you have will at either +4 or +3, you get all 4 boxes. And if you have will as a +2 or a +1, you get 1 extra box.
Okay, got it. So I get it.
So if we want to choose will, we should choose it now, is what you're saying?
You can. You don't have to. You can change that later, and now suddenly you're stronger in that area.
Okay.
Right. Okay, got it.
Got it? All right. So we now have our name, our 5 aspects along with some backstory, right? We have 1 great, 2 good, 3 fair, and we'll figure out our average skills later.
Yes.
You have at least 1 stunt. You can add more stunts later. You have your mental and physical stress track, right? And we're not going
to.
Right. And we don't have any consequences because we haven't had any situation where we're going to need to face consequences yet.
Okay.
All right. So that is character creation. So we have created our characters and we have started our story together.
All right.
Cool.
And perfect timing at 7 o'clock. And I promised it would be like only 2 hours per night.
Yay. Those of us at Eastern Time have to get to bed.
Yeah. It's late for y'all. So if anyone would like to do a shameless plug, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, go ahead, you guys.
Okay, well, if you are super into Harry Potter and satire, Lynette has recently helped me with a series I'm starting on my YouTube channel of shorts. Hey, Rowan, can I swear on your channel, or is this family friendly?
No, you can swear. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so I am all out of fucks, and I am just like, I am going to just be super political on my Harry Potter channel. Because...
Live your best life.
Yeah. So So it just went up this week, and like I said, Lynette helped me with it. But basically, Dorothy Dumbridge is the new history of magic professor at Ilvermorny.
Oh Lord.
Because I'm gonna make fun of American politics in a Harry Potter way for the next year.
You know, I'm okay with that.
It's
here
great.
for it. I'm here for it.
I saw it earlier today, and I was like, because I didn't see it. Like, I didn't know what Dorothy
What I
sounded
was
like.
doing? Yeah.
I just knew what I was doing, and I
If
was
you
like,
would
I'm
like
clearly
an additional
annoyed.
collab, I'm there.
At some point, I'm gonna need students. So, yeah.
I'd like to be a student. Can I?
Just your outfit, the way you talk, I was just like, oh dear, Dorothy.
The accent nailed.
Dorothy.
I'm
Bless
here for
her little
it.
heart.
Yeah,
It was really hard to do, and at the very end, it becomes this weird conglomeration of Southern and British because my script has me saying ought, and it's like hard to say that as a Southerner, and so it kind of sounds weirdly British, but that comes out tomorrow. So
it kind of reminded me of Knives Out, Daniel Craig in it. Like, you said something, and I was like, oh, you're like that guy. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. So, and I will say the third one I did two today, so the third one just went up a couple hours ago. But yeah, I do a lot of Harry Potter stuff, but that's what I just started, and I'm really excited about it because I'm a really strong feminist, and I am really interested in politics, and I also love Harry Potter. So
sing it, sister.
And Umbridge is delightfully evil, so I'm just gonna be I gotta be a Southern Umbridge.
Everyone's meant.
Was that your YouTube you're trying to put in there?
I can dig it
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
I'll dig it up.
I was like, did Brita curse again in the chat?
Oh,
Brita's just over here cursing in the chat over and over.
I'm just cursing in chat.
I'm gonna.
I don't swear on my channel, and so that's why I asked. You know,
I appreciate.
The easiest way to express how I feel was to say that. So
It's PG-13. We get 2. So.
Oh, okay.
One more.
Well,
one more.
There was the one for tonight, y'all. So one of you gets to have an F-bomb, okay?
I'm gonna shameless plug.
Your mouth, so I pre-apologize.
My shameless plug is that tomorrow night is going to be finishing Harry Potter and the Natural 20. We've been doing the Rowan reads fanfic for a couple of months now, and we've been reading that particular one, and the story ends tomorrow night here at 8 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh.
So
great.
bedtime stories for you guys on the Eastern Coast.
Perfect Harry Potter mashup
with the D&D role-playing game.
Harry Potter and D&D. What happens if a D&D character lands in the Harry Potter universe?
That's amazing.
I love it.
It's been a great story.
Also, side note, my literal introduction to D&D was in Harry Potter fan fiction that was set during Teddy Lupin's years at schools, but he and his friends played Muggles and Minions.
Okay. If you have a favorite fanfic, please send it to me because I am running out of fanfics to read for Fanfic
Are you
Friday.
serious?
I'm serious.
I can give you enough fan fiction that will last you the rest of your life.
You have my email address. Just saying.
Oh my god.
All right. Does anyone else want to shamelessly plug before we say goodbye?
I guess my shameless self promo is that I will be going live right after this to play some games. I think I want to play some Pokemon Unite to start with tonight, and then we'll see, where we go from there. So if anybody wants to come hang out, maybe play some Pokemon Unite, maybe play some spoopy games or whatever we feel like. We all know I have both ADHD and game ADHD. So come hang out. We'll probably play lots of fun things tonight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet. All right.
My YouTube channel is Wizard PhD. I have other channels, but right now I am like out of control with YouTube. I posted 2 videos today and I did a live stream. So I am exhausted and I'm going to, even though it's like 7 p.m. for me, I'm going to go lay down after this, but go check out the channel for Hogwarts Legacy content. There's also usually a Magical Theory Harry Potter reread podcast, but it's on pause right now because there's a lot going on with Hogwarts Legacy. But you can check out news and updates and fun, chaotic live streams there.
Plus, if you're new to her podcast, they've already done the first 3 books, and then they're like halfway through the 4th one. So there's a lot of content to catch up on.
And you can catch up on all of it.
So,
nice.
You know,
very nice.
Listen to it before bed. No. And wake up with my random scream in the middle of it.
And then what you should do is you should go to Twitter and you should search for the Magical Theory hashtag, because it's basically just me tweeting whenever I listen to the podcast.
Rita's the #1 commentator. The #1 reviewer of Magical Theory podcast.
Yeah, we should mention, or Jeffrey sits in on those Magical
Theory podcasts too.
Yes, or Jeffrey.
Which I also, since he's not on Twitter, I just do hashtag or Jeffrey. So he also has a hashtag now, which is also just me hashtagging him.
All right. Well, love all you ladies to death. Or in Lynette's case, and back.
And back.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
And as I end all of my streams, I remind people that if people can hate other people for no reason, then I can love people for no reason. So whether or not we've met, I do love you, honest and true. And I hope you all have a good rest of your nights. And we will see you next Thursday when I put these poor tweens through their first round of the ringer.
Yay!
Thank y'all. Bye.
Good night, everybody.